All right, so I decided to start doing these. I don't know really why. It just came across me when I was walking back from class one day. I was like, oh, maybe instead of writing so much, I can speak or something. I don't know. I guess the point of me making, you know, these short little videos of me talking is for no other reason than for me to look back on. Um, there's there's things in life that you only get like a certain amount of shots at, and I think the biggest one of those is being young. And to me, um, I feel like people forget that, and they think they have so much time, but really they don't. And I think this is one of those things where I want to do this because I know I don't have time, like left as a young person, I should say, like nearing adulthood, nearing the end of college, I guess. So I really wanted to start making like these short videos of me talking through, religion and faith and what that looks like for me, um, as someone who I would say goes to war with it, like mentally, because it's so hard to grasp for me sometimes. And then I see other people that like just it's come so naturally to them to have faith and to believe in certain things, and then I see myself just like fighting this endless war over like yes or no, basically at the end of the day. So I guess that's the point of these videos, is just for me to speak my thoughts on different topics and things that come across my mind on the day of in religion and theology. I guess, like, speaking of like that, I'm nearing the end of my younger ages. Um, like, how does faith evolve in life? Does faith evolve in life, or do you stay the same, or is it just fluid motion? And I think with Christianity, it's like a lot of times in this age, it's like a yes or no question. It's either you believe in Jesus or you don't. And to me, it's like I hate being in that box. That seems like a very, I don't know, improper, I guess. It's a bad word, but I think that's what I thought of. Um, and I guess like you could come at me and say, well, that's the point. Well, that just makes me angry for some reason. Like there has to be more to it. No, I don't know. I guess that's the point of why I'm making these videos. It's just me talking and seeing what comes out. Like I write a lot, and so in writing you can always go back and edit and rethink and critique. But this is just a raw, uncut, 5 to 10 minutes of me just speaking about it, I guess. Well, going back to what I was saying about faith, it's just like a yes or no question. That's all Christianity is. It's if you believe someone rose from the dead or not, and that one question has so much to it that if I put it into this box of yes or no, I find it very difficult to like, you know, see what comes out on the other side sometimes. It's like I answer yes, but I often don't see the fruits of answering yes, if you know what I mean. I feel like sometimes it's just such a weird thing to do, is to believe in something yet not see the fruits of your labor from believing in it, if that's all it is. I guess that's a fairly unorthodox way of looking at it, but that's the point of why I'm doing this, is just to to be unorthodox in my way of thinking, and to not care so much about like all the crap that comes along with it, but to just like, speak my thoughts on it and record them. And maybe I'll do more than one, and then I'll look back in 10 years and have a bunch that I could see my faith grow over time, or, maybe answer a few questions along the way, maybe change my faith, maybe develop it a little more. I don't know. I don't know. I thought I don't know. I just was walking one day, and I mean today actually. God, I am really bad at speaking now that I do this. It's like really bad. now that I realize that, speaking in front of a camera is so much more easier than developing a paper that took 20 hours, even though it took longer. But you had time to go back and rethink what you said. This is just like me thinking out loud. And it's funny because I'm horrible at apologetics or stuff like that. Like, people ask me to defend my stance on a certain religious topic, and I'll be like, I'll explain it in a metaphor or something, and it's like not the point. It's like you're trying to defend a stance against the other, and you're trying to prove the other wrong. But I have trouble with that for some reason. I'm really bad at apologetics. If you give me a piece of paper and you give me 30 minutes to defend my stance, I think I could do a lot better job in writing than I could, speaking. So that's another reason kind of why I'm doing this, is to work on those kinds of skills. Because the only thing I know is I don't know anything. And I think sometimes in theology and philosophy, there's this bell curve. And it gets to a point where you're at the top of the bell curve and you think you know everything. But then you go down the other side of the bell curve and you realize that what you did know is nothing compared to how much there is to know, which is a cool way of thinking about it, And I think that's why I find religion, theology, and philosophy so interesting, is because it's infinitely expandable. Like, you can do so much with it. I don't know, I just think that's fascinating. And to think that one of the most, compelling arguments for the belief in a higher power, Christianity, is just based on one dude, one person, and three natures, I guess. That's even more fascinating. It's like separating the person of Jesus from the historical to the religious Jesus, and seeing how those two play out. And I think some Christians are sometimes scared to do that. And I think you should be, but I think it's also fine to do that. You only grow in religion if you challenge your belief. If you have this blind assumption of faith, you're not really growing. You're just assuming based on a presupposition of things you've been told or read. And to me, that's just, I want to figure it out for myself, which I guess is like very anti-Orthodox faith, especially like the apostolic branches, like Catholicism and Orthodoxy, because the church has figured it out and you go along with the church. So that's an interesting way of looking at it for me. But I guess my goal with this is just a rant, and if anyone watches it, they watch it, but I don't really care. It's more of just a log of me ranting about stupid ideas that come across my head on a daily basis, and see if I can grow my faith from it. So that's about it for day one, I guess. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing at this point.